Apparently what we're about to watch is the best tornado footage ever shot. And I think this tornado is called Columbus. This is going to be good. Either way, before we jump in, ladies and gentlemen, I'd appreciate it if you could like. And if you enjoy the videos, maybe subscribe. YouTube are doing this thing now where the algorithm is subscriber-based recommendations. So if you want to see my face and my videos on your homepage, make sure you sub. And I also stream over on Twitch. There's a link in the pinned comment. I ain't gonna lie. The thumbnail of this is scaring me a bit. Look at the size of that. Holy shit.
It's June 23rd, 1998, and Columbus, Nebraska farmer Andy Ulmer has just arrived home when he sees this out of his window.
I mean, that don't even look
Andy
real.
quickly got his video camera and began to record the monster as it was.
Yo, Andy, I'm gonna be completely honest, man. You might want to be anywhere else. You're probably... Andrew, you better not stay in this fucking tornado,
coming
man.
Directly towards his house. Over the course of the next few minutes, he would provide the world with some of the best tornado footage ever shot.
Please don't tell me...
Late June of 1998, and the tornado season is well underway, and it's been a historic one. An extremely active first half of the year has left the US on its heels. A few anomalous events have happened so far, including Florida's deadliest tornado outbreak in history in February, an unseasonably strong tornado outbreak in Minnesota in March, a couple of F5 tornadoes in Alabama and Tennessee in April, and the only ever high-risk severe weather event issued for the Northeast in May. This active trend would continue into June, which brings us to June 23rd.
What size was this?
Throughout the day, a moderately strong trough had swept across portions of the central U.S., situating itself over Nebraska. Across the state, temperatures rose into the low and mid-80s. Dew points also rose to nearly 75 degrees, signifying extremely humid air. This warm air mass allowed for a pocket of CAPE with values approaching 4,500 to enter the area. This CAPE, or convective available potential energy, aka fuel for thunderstorms, would significantly aid in what would happen later in the day.
Oh,
As
shit.
we travel 20,000 feet up from the ground, we find moderately strong 40 to 50 knot winds out of the southwest. However, when we travel back down to just a few thousand feet off the ground, we find what was the real secret sauce to this event.
At what height do tornadoes form and then come down? Is it just a couple of thousand feet? But he's talking about like 3,000 feet or something there.
What were measly winds throughout most of the day quickly and suddenly got sent into overdrive mode by what's known as the low-level jet.
Is about to get
the
it.
low-level jet is a near daily occurrence during the spring and summer, when the low-level winds in the atmosphere significantly increase around and after sunset.
Okay.
This is typically caused when the upper levels of the atmosphere cool as the day goes on, which causes a pressure gradient between the cool upper atmosphere and the warm lower atmosphere.
Oh.
This pressure gradient then results in strong winds flowing from the cool air to the warm air. This low-level jet does a couple of things that significantly benefits tornadoes. The first is that the sharp increase in low-level winds significantly...
By the way, guys, this is all new to me, of course. Like, we don't have this sort of shit where I'm from because we don't have tornadoes. So, like, we don't have this on the news, or like we don't learn about any of this anywhere. This is all new to me. This is all... I'm learning on the go. You know what I mean?
Increases the amount of shear or spin, which is obviously critical to tornadoes. The other is that the low-level jet can pull much more favorable environmental conditions for tornadoes northwards with it as the evening goes on. The low-level jet would prove quintessential on June 23rd, 1998, as it brought in with it more explosive environmental conditions in from the south, and also evolved what was just average wind shear throughout most of the day into very strong wind shear by the evening.
This has got to be EF5, right? There's no way that's not. Maybe a 4.
As the day progressed, a dry line developed and spanned a majority of the Central Plains and would serve as the focal point for thunderstorm development. As the environment cooked throughout the afternoon, explosive storm initiation finally occurred just after 6 p.m. local time, and storms moved northeast. As the thunderstorms continued to develop in eastern Nebraska, 3 separate residents who were in the path would unknowingly be some of the only people to document what was about to happen. The main storm of interest slowly moved towards town. Just before entering town, the storm put down its first tornado. The tornado, which touched down just to the north of Duncan, was a relatively weak F1 that remained on the ground for just a couple of miles. After lifting, the city of Columbus looked to be staring straight down the barrel of another tornado, with the supercell reorganizing in...
If an F1 comes along, like, does that mean there's going to be more? Like, is an F1 a kind of indicator as to, you know, there's going to be more? So, or is it just, does it just depend on what's going around in the jet?
Town. All residents could do, though, was just hold their breath and hope. Luckily, though, and even though the storm was spinning like a top, it passed over town without producing. Just as the storm is exiting the Columbus city limits, Kent Sunderman, who is just north of town, begins to record.
Kent, be careful! Is that the tornado sirens going on? Oh, it's terrifying. That terrifies me, man.
Amazingly,
I'll never not be scared of that.
Passing through town, the
What's
storm
this?
put down its next tornado, which is
Here we go.
initially just an uncondensed bowl with slight ground circulation. Kent records the tornado as it makes a few unsuccessful attempts at fully condensing, when he then realizes that the storm has produced another tornado to the south.
Like it looks alive.
This satellite tornado
Right.
is another relatively weak F1 and is also moving northeast. Just a few minutes later, the
looks
first
alive.
tornado would try another attempt at fully condensing, and this one would prove successful.
Is this gonna be like here and here? Is this gonna be the...
Spectacularly, the tornado goes from a barely visible funnel to a large stovepipe tornado in just the matter of seconds.
Oh no, it's hitting the ground.
Oh no.
Oh man, I hope somebody doesn't get hurt over there.
Oh shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
That's just went from nothing
It's
to
on the ground. Should we call somebody?
devil's dick.
I
In
don't
like
know,
3
'cause
seconds.
It's on the ground.
Who do you call?
It is on the ground. Look at it turning into something big.
The tornado continues to increase its size and strength as it tracks over rural farmland. The tornado initially
Oh
moved
my
northeast
God.
and then turned to the north, then northwest, before coming to an almost complete stop and eventually moving back off to the northeast. Meanwhile, Arlen Wilkie, who is just 3 miles to the northeast of Sunderman, also spots the approaching twister and begins to record as well. The tornado, which has been moving slowly and erratically, continues to grow in size to 1/4 of a mile wide.
To Arnie's and Lucy's.
1/4 of a mile wide.
Lucy's in that area. Doc Rungy. Nothing left of them trees. Is that the long branch?
Well, you out at home? Did it touch down?
The touchdown.
We're standing in front of our house. In front of my house.
As Arlen is recording,
Jesus.
the tornado is inflicting some of its first damage on a few farmhouses to his east.
Oh my good god, man. Look at the fucking... Oh, that's horrifying. That is horrifying. That's a mess. You need to get out.
Ruben's house.
Shouldn't we be...
Sounds like a freight train from my house.
Tell Todd we got it on video.
We got it on video from right here. We're just about to see a house disappear.
Oh my god, man. At what point do you just leave?
It's on the other side.
It's on the other side now. I went past Irma's house and we can still see Irma's house. So it's somewhere on the other side of Irma Rickard's house. It didn't touch it. It went north of Irma Rickard's. And it didn't touch it.
Get some people over to Lucy's in that area. Tell Arnold. And Arnie. It went right through Arnie's place and... Ow! Get that. I want that as a souvenir. Right there.
Jerry Arnie's place had to be hit, I would think. I don't know. And maybe Long Branch.
Bro, that thing is mesmerizing. Oh my... Is this the tornado right here? Or is it like in there? Is this it? Like this big fucking thing?
While the tornado is passing to Arlen's east, it's heading directly towards Andy Ulmer, who is
Andy.
about 5 miles further to the northeast.
Oh...
Look at the swirls.
Bro, that's crazy. You know what? Like, that's
Andy has
insane,
just arrived
man.
home from the airport and was in the process of changing clothes when he noticed the tornado out of his window, and he also begins to record.
Yeah. Right there.
Like, that looks alive, bro.
Bunch of little ones.
It looks alive. It's like legs.
Morning? Oh.
You what?
I think it's
Ooh-wee.
Which way is it going? Is it coming this way?
It was just sitting there.
Well, it may look like it's sitting there.
He mentions in the video that the tornado doesn't seem to be moving, which is a telltale sign that it's coming
Coming
directly
towards
at
you.
you.
Yeah.
For instance, if you look at the left edge of the tornado and use the tree line as a reference point, it's not moving left or right, which means it's coming directly at them.
And they,
Meanwhile, back at Arlen's location, the tornado passed directly to his east and now has an audible roar heard on the video.
Palm Ranch must have destroyed it.
What'd you say, Paul?
Go get that big hailstone.
I was talking
The baseball size
He
one.
said everybody's okay there. Did it hit there?
hailstone?
Sounded like it.
Did he say hailstone?
The tornado impacted some of his neighbors' houses down the road, but luckily they avoided a direct hit and the property sustained only moderate damage.
Is this moderate damage? I mean, isn't this the house gone? What is this? Isn't this a hole in the ground that shows a basement then? Or is this the house and what is going on?
The tornado continues on its northeast track directly towards the Ulmer residence. Even though the tornado is still a few miles away from his location, you can now hear the audible roar of the tornado on his video as well, indicating that this is likely a violent tornado.
Andy, you need to leave, bro.
Hope we got insurance paid up, dear. There's some damn big hailstorms coming down.
Hi. Come on, Andy.
At what point do you leave, though?
Listen to it.
Like, if you know it's coming towards you, don't you get in the car and
No.
Huh?
hit the road or no?
Boys.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Knowing that that's coming towards you and there's nothing you can fucking do about it. I can't imagine how scared these people would be, man, because that's, yeah, that's fucked.
Come on, Andy.
It ain't.
Go real fast. That's good.
Is my guy standing outside?
Come on, Andy.
At what point do you just go to the basement, though? I'm down now already, if that's me. I'm not standing here recording this, bro.
Andy's wife Susan very understandably begins to try and convince him to put the video camera down and to seek shelter in the basement,
Yeah.
but he can't take his eyes off of it.
Andy, you're about to end up in fucking the Wizard of Oz, bro.
Not good.
Jesus Christ. It looks like a, you know, like a boss fight at the end of a video game, man.
After a few more minutes of recording, Andy finally begins to realize the danger, but remembers that he was in the midst of changing clothes when he began to record.
There's no clothes on.
He then proceeds to utter one of the funniest and most iconic lines ever from a tornado video.
Susan, get my pants.
Once Andy puts all of his clothes back on, he obliges to his wife's request and stops recording to take shelter.
Susan, get that man his pants. His fucking cock's hanging out.
Yeah, I'm getting in.
Oh.
However, just a minute or so later, Andy changes his mind and once again goes to the door to record again.
What is wrong
As
with
if
this
the tornado
man?
could not get any more visually impressive, it begins to instantaneously change its form from a wedge to a traditional rope tornado.
Oh my. Holy fuck.
Oh, Nelly.
And then, in another instance, it's gone.
Oh, went up in the clouds.
Andy once again heads downstairs to seek shelter.
Andy defeated it.
When Andy once again returns upstairs to record
He's way
some
back
more,
up.
he finds that the tornado has dropped once again as a rope. However, by some miracle, the tornado made an abrupt and hard turn to the west and somehow missed their farm. While Andy is recording the tornado in its final stages from right under it, Arlen and Kent are filming it from
Look at
miles
that.
away to the southwest in much safer spots. Back at the Ulmer residence, though, Andy records the last seconds of the tornado's life as it actually turns back to the east after passing by the farm.
Jesus.
Eventually, though, the rope finally dissipates. After this tornado lifted, the storm continued traveling northeast, and it would produce another 4 tornadoes over the course of the next 2.5 hours.
Huh?
I couldn't really find any other information on these additional tornadoes. In fact, information and damage pictures from the main tornado are also very scarce. Ultimately, though, the main tornado was rated as an F2 with estimated wind speeds between 113.
That was only an F2. I'm sorry, that looked like the biggest tornado I think I've seen yet. Have I seen an F5 before? Are the differences between F2 and F5 like like what am I trying to say? Is the size difference that much? What the fuck is going on here? Because that looked absolutely massive. But holy shit, I hope the wife went and got Andy's pants, ladies and gentlemen. You can't be standing there recording the tornado with your cock swinging. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is insane. If you guys want me to keep doing tornado reactions, do leave a like and do subscribe and let me know down below. And I'll do so. Either way, have a good one, guys. Peace.